You know, I used to think that drivers actually knew what signs meant too, until I started receiving death threats. At the time, I lived in a little town called Goodlettsville, Tennessee. Goodlettsville had little crosswalks that all had this sign on it. There's a dog. But no crossings that actually had lights to show pedestrians when to cross. These crosswalks was in front of a library, another one was in front of a high school. Cars did not stop. They rarely ever stopped, to the point of it being fairly life-threatening considering me and my kids, we walked there, we biked there. This is how we got around. Police officers did not stop. And I presented this in front of city council. I actually ended up crying. It was one of the most embarrassing moments of my life. The chief of police came up to me after and he apologized and he said, you know, I'll talk to the police. I'll make sure that we're trained in like stopping for pedestrians. You know, that was a step in the right direction. I went a step further and I actually recorded the experience of crossing the street in Goodlettsville, Tennessee. Posted it on a local forum because the goal was to reach city members saying this is not okay, this is dangerous, this is children's lives. That's when the threats and comments started coming in. People started saying, you stupid, stupid woman. This sign is only for school crossings. This doesn't apply for all pedestrians. Even though there's a striped white line, you have no right to cross here. Cars are not required to stop for you, and you're endangering your children. You're a bad mother. You deserve to be hit by a car. These are all in my community forum. Even the member of city council weighed in because people started tagging her in this post. And so she commented, it looks to me like, yes, indeed, these signs are only meant for students and not for just people wanting to go to the library or wanting to cross anywhere on Main Street safely. I found the Tennessee law, I posted it, a police officer got on the forum and he said, what are you guys talking about? This is the law in Tennessee that cars have to stop anywhere there's a striped white line, regardless of signage. A member of city council privately messaged me and you know, she opened up a conversation about pedestrian safety. And I said, you've told the entire city they don't have to stop at these crosswalks. And she acknowledged the fact that she was wrong. And I said, okay, will you publicly acknowledge the fact that you were wrong? Will you publicly take ownership of saying that these crosswalks were only meant for students? And she refused to. And she said, you know how online is. People are so brutal. And I was so frustrated. I was like, because of your opinion, you gave validity to all of these arguments that they don't have to stop at these crosswalks. And you're telling me you're refusing to publicly acknowledge that these crosswalks are made for anyone and that it is legally required for cars to yield. Honestly, it was the worst experience I've had online and with advocacy so far. But we have to fight. I mean, do you know how many pedestrian fatalities there are in the United States every single day? Do you know how many kids die because of unsafe street conditions? We're gonna keep fighting and we're gonna keep educating. Can't give up. And we can't all move to Amsterdam.